Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? I am Sophie Nicole Casey, and I'm going to be speaking to you ladies today about launching. I'm going to be sharing my top tips and strategies. So I really hope you guys find it helpful today. So first of all, if you are watching live, say hello. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're watching on the replay, please give me a hashtag replay. And I'd love to know, actually, in the comments, just let me know, like, are you doing a launch or have you done a launch before? I would love to hear that from you guys. Okay, so just I'm on the wrong screen, so I can't actually see your comments. Or I always do this in the Facebook Live thing. Okay, all good. I'm gonna trust the process and hope that it works. So yeah, first of all, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. So and like the reason I'm actually qualified to talk to you about this today. So myself, I've only actually in my own business, I've only done about 3 launches. But over the last 5 years, I've actually been working with a lot of coaches and helped them deliver a lot of launches, mainly 6-7 figure coaches, but I've also helped ones earlier in their journeys and so on. And I've helped them with things like Facebook ads, messenger bots, email marketing, and general launch strategy. So I have seen a lot over the last 4 or 5 years. I'm not sure, I've not written it down somewhere. And I've seen things that have gone really, really well, and I've seen things that haven't gone as well. But I had to have seen obviously the things that consistently give you a better chance of it being a success. There is never a guarantee with a launch. Like, no one can ever say, your launch is going to go well. No one can ever say that. There are too many factors which determine how it goes down, basically. But if you follow the strategies that I'm going to share with you today and the tips I'm going to give you today, then you're going to have 100% more chance of it being a success. So I'm going to go. So I'll go through that now with you. They're all very important, but the last one I would say is the most important. So make sure you stick around if you can until then. I know if you're in the US, it's evening time, so it might be a little bit late for some of you, but you can always catch the replay. So first of all, and I posted this a couple of days in the group because I wanted to kind of gauge, what people think and how people feel about things. But if you are doing a launch, or if you have done a launch, let me know, what is your big promise? And I'm just going to talk about that a little bit now. So when you're running a launch, one of the very, very important things is that it needs to have a tangible outcome. It can't just be something that's, we're gonna do this over 5 days or 3 days or in this masterclass, but it has to have a tangible outcome. And that's where this big promise comes in, because the big promise is a thing they're going to come away with it in their hands. So it can't just be like, yeah, we're going to improve this, or we're gonna talk about this, or you're gonna learn this. It's like you're gonna come away with this roadmap, with more leads, with more clients, with more money, all that kind of stuff. It has to be really, really tangible. So so what are they going to achieve in that amount of time? So again, let me know in the comments what is your answer to that, basically. So that was the first one, and that's obviously something that you need to think about at the very, very beginning. Just gonna double check. Yeah, okay, all good. So yeah, let me know, and I'll move on to the next one. So tell me as well, because if you're watching, so when you plan your launch, how many signups do you need? How many signups to your event do you need? Because a lot of people don't actually work this out, but this is very, very, very important that you actually know your numbers before you even start promoting. You need to know how many signups you need to hit your goal. So first of all, you need a goal. How much money do you want to make? And it is just a numbers game. And obviously, the more launches you do, the more you're going to know what your numbers are, and the more accurate in general it's going to be. But let's just say when you do a launch, and when I say launch, I mean a 5-day challenge, a masterclass, and so on. On average, you can look at a 5 to 10% conversion rate. Some people get 20%. I've seen people get 40%. Some people get 3%. So you need to know your numbers. But if you've not done it before, then you can just go for 5%, because that's a kind of low average. And let's just say, so I'm going to do really, really basic, a really straightforward example here. But let's just say your goal is that you want 10 signups into your program. And let's just say, for simplicity of maths, that your conversion rate is 10%, and you know that. So obviously to hit that goal, you need 100 people in your event. Or if you're on a 5% conversion rate, you'd need 200 people. But if you didn't know that, you might just be promoting your event. You'll be like, yeah, I've got 70 people in my event. But then when you actually do the maths, that means you're not going to hit your goal. So it's really, really important that you're really clear on your numbers from the very beginning. And never actually just aim to hit your goal either. Like, always aim for the stars. If you want 10 signups and you need 100 people for that, or 200, aim for 400 people. Never, because if you aim for 100%, you might reach 80%. If you aim for 500%, you might reach 120%. So always know your numbers and always go for the stars, basically. Hi Therese. Therese is watching. How are you doing, lovely? Thank you so much for joining us, and let me know. I'm not sure when you tuned in because there is a little bit of a delay, but let me know if you're doing a launch, what your big promise is, if you know your numbers and so on. So that was that. So, oops, hang on. So the next little tip or strategy that you can actually use, and excuse me, let me know in the comments if you've done this, and I did a poll earlier in the group to ask I wanted to see if many people have actually done this. But generally people do like a 5-day challenge launch, or 3 to 5 day challenge launch, or they do a masterclass launch. And they've both got their pros and cons. For example, a challenge launch allows a good amount of time to gain that know, like, and trust factor, which is absolutely crucial for people when they're deciding if they want to work with you or not. Whereas a masterclass is like, well, you can help people in a very short amount of time. And a lot of people can't dedicate 3 to 5 days. A lot of us are busy mums. We're like wearing all the hats, we're mums, we're cooks and cleaners and business owners and finance managers and everything. We're like spinning so many plates. So a challenge can be quite hard for some people, depending on who your target audience is. So one really great thing to do, if you feel like a challenge will be best for your business, but you know that a lot of people can't commit to that level of time, what you can actually do is run a challenge, but then at the end of it, run a bonus masterclass. And what you do is you open that masterclass up to the public. So those people that couldn't commit previously to the challenge because they didn't have time or whatever, they can commit to that masterclass, and they'll still get really good value. And then they'll still get to, they'll be able to get to know, like, and trust you and work with you, basically. And then for the people in the challenge, it's just a bonus. They get an extra free training that they didn't even know they were going to get. So that's like a really, really great strategy. I would love to know if you've done that, if you've seen people do that, how you feel about that. Teresa's saying, good point on the conversion rate. Yeah, it's so important. But obviously, unless you've done it before, you won't know. But what I can tell you actually is if you're running Facebook ads, your conversion rate is going to be lower, because the cold audience from Facebook ads, they'll probably convert 3 to 6 or 7%. Whereas your warm audience, if you've done it all organically, you are more likely to hit that 10% mark. But it's always best to estimate low, so that you're not getting your hopes up and getting worse results than what you're expecting. Tanya's saying, love the numbers. Thank you, lovely. Hope that helps. And Teresa's running a challenge from the 4th to the 6th of July. And you need 100 to 150. Awesome. Yes, I aim for 300. Yeah, that's going to be amazing. Fantastic. So, and so doing the masterclass at the end of the challenge as well is also good, because on that last day when you finish promoting your challenge, you suddenly miraculously find like 10, 20 more people that are like, oh, I wish I'd seen this yesterday. These people can go in the masterclass as well. So it's also good to sweep up those kind of like latecomers. So that was the next one. So this one is very, very important. And this is to offer incentives wherever possible. So basically, it's really, really important to get, obviously, a large number of signups, but also to get engagement in the group. So this is more specifically for a challenge than a masterclass, because a masterclass is often in Zoom or something, and the people that get engaged, it doesn't affect you on social media. But especially if you're running a challenge where the amount of comments, posts, people responding to stuff is going to directly affect the Facebook algorithm. So Facebook are not going to show your wonderful challenge posts to people if no one's engaging, and so on. So what you can do is offer lots of different types of incentives to people that engage the most. Also, you can do things like competitions, who invites the most people. You can do prize draws. Say, here's a post I put out on my Instagram or my Facebook page or profile. The person that shares it the most or comments the most and so on, and then it gives people like an incentive, because you say the person that does this the most, or the top 3, are going to get free entry to my program. They're going to get a voucher for $200 to spend on any of my product suite. It could be an actual gift, like an actual gift voucher. There's lots of different things you can offer. But it just really helps to, because those people that really want to work with you, they will engage, they will share, they will do everything they can to win this prize, and it just really, really helps with that, with the number of signups, with engagement, and so on. So that was basically those ones. So again, you guys that are doing launches, are you doing that? Have you thought about doing that? Have a think about like what you could offer, what prizes can you offer, and so on, because it just really, really helps to kind of push those things that you need, which are engagement and people signing up and people going. So that was that one. The next one, and this is also really, really powerful. This is more directly related to like how many sales you can get. But what you want to do is get early sales. So you don't want to do like a 5-day challenge and then put your offer out on the last day and then doors close on the Sunday, because that only gives 2 days for people to think about it. The earlier you can get sales, the better, because it means you can shout about it. It makes people feel safer with their decision to actually invest. It's like FOMO as well, isn't it? All these people are signing up around you and you're like, I'm going to miss out. So early sales are really, really powerful, really important. And you can also do that by offering fast action bonuses or early bird fast action, whatever you want to call it. So, you can do early, what we call mid-launch bonuses. It's not really sexy sounding, but if you give an early offer, you can say, well, listen, this is really early in our time together, but if you trust me and you take that leap, then you can actually get $500 off the price. It can be like really big, and it pushes them early sales, and it gives you more to talk about on social media. And then obviously after you've done your like launch in your event, you then also open it up to the public as well. So the actual launch period that people can buy, it's not just like a day or 2 days. It's going to be, spread over a couple of weeks. So you've got like, time to really, to get those sales. Hey, Robin saying great tips. I'll watch the replay. Awesome. Yeah. Let me know if you've got any questions when you do, Robin. So early sales. And so, yeah, that's also incentives as well, but it's more directly on the sales part. Okay, so the next one, and this is the most important really, and this is what you guys, if you've ever run a launch, you will know how nerve-wracking it is to think, oh my God, I'm going to do this launch and no one's going to show up. I'm going to sit there and talk to myself for 5 days. It's so scary, the thought of that. So there are so many things that you can do to ensure that you get high attendance, because obviously if it's a 5-day challenge, if like on the first day just a few people engage, guaranteed by day 2 or 3 it will have fizzled out. So you need like, especially like it's always going to fizzle out towards the end of the week, because people don't have that level of commitment. People are busy, they get behind, they feel overwhelmed by long lives and Q&As and posts in groups and so on. So at the very, very beginning, from the very start, you need to have really, really, really high attendance and engagement. And one thing I'm just going to say, actually, if you are doing a challenge launch, a lot of people like to do this in their own Facebook group because they're like, yeah, it's going to grow my group. I don't actually recommend that anyone does this, because your Facebook group will have its own kind of algorithm set. And if your group's not highly engaged, Facebook's not going to help you out when these new people go in. So it's actually better to create a private pop-up group and do it in there. And then everyone gets accepted in at the same time. They all go to the welcome post. They all introduce themselves. They all do everything at the same time. And Facebook's like, whoa, this is somewhere that we want to show people, this is a really engaged group. And it's like, it just sets the algorithm up really, really good from the beginning. And don't worry about losing these people. If these people are your people, then they will follow you to your main group anyway. And if they're not, then you don't want them in your group anyway. You don't want your group full of people that realize they didn't really care about signing up. They don't really care about what you have to say. And also, if you do it in your normal group, people that don't sign up, they're going to get a bit annoyed about all the extra posts and stuff when they just want what they're normally used to and so on. So let me know if you agree with that, or if you don't agree. You know, if you are doing a challenge, are you doing it in your own group, or are you doing it in a pop-up group? I would love to hear from you guys. Yeah, so that wasn't what I was going to say then. I just went on a little tangent. But yeah, so high attendance. There are a lot of things you can do, and a lot of people actually forget to do a lot of these. So the first one is to create a Facebook event for it. And in fact, you can create multiple ones. Create an event in your group. You can create it on your personal profile. You can create one on your page. When you're posting on Instagram as well, it allows you to set reminders for dates so that people can actually opt in to be reminded. There's lots of things you can do like that. And the beauty of that, and especially now, so when you create an event on Facebook now and someone marks themselves as maybe or attending, I don't know if you've seen, but it prompts them to add it into their own calendar. So it means they're going to be you're going to be put in their calendar basically, and they're going to be reminded about it even if they forget to like sign up to the actual thing. So creating Facebook events is really, really important. And then obviously people can share that more as well, and you can just invite all your friends, you know, or if you use lists in Facebook like I do, when people add me as a friend or I add them as a friend, I put people in different lists. Like people who live where I live in the world, they're all in a little list called Pie People. Like my England crew, they're all in a little list. Like people in my professional network are in a list, because I want to be able to keep my, you know, people separate. But also it means that when you're inviting people to events, to groups and so on, Facebook allows you to bulk invite depending on what list they're in as well. So it just means you can just invite the people that are likely to actually want to show up and so on. So tons of benefits to that. And obviously you can post in there and so on, so on. So the next one is to actually to get them to opt in to a calendar event. So even if a lot of people, when they sign up to your event, they're not actually going to go to the event page on Facebook and say they're attending, you know, because if they've already signed up, there's no point, they've signed up. So what you should do is still invite them to actually add it to their calendar. And it's quite easy to create a link for them to do this. They just click the link, and then, you know, you can actually set it up. And I've got a training on this somewhere, but you can set it up so that it's just one link, and it adds, like, if it's a 5-day challenge, it adds all the days to it, all the lives, all the tasks, and you can do it so that they just click that one thing, it goes in their calendar. And then, so especially for the people who work in their offices and stuff, they're going to literally see it pop up in the corner that this is happening now. And they're like, oh yeah, you know, people that don't check their emails or people that aren't on Messenger, they're going to see that one. So the idea is having something in place for all the kind of people, because some people work best on email, some people don't really check anything, so the calendar will be good. Some people are on Messenger a lot, so that's going to be a thing. And I'm going to go on to that in a sec. So yeah, sorry, I think I'm speaking quite quickly. So let me know if you're following so far. Let me know if you do that. Do you create Facebook events? Do you create like Google or iCal events so that people can sign up? Because it's really, really important, but it's also very often missed. So I just want to talk to you now about email as well. So email marketing, very, very powerful, as you guys probably know. It's still one of the best forms of marketing. You're still one of the highest return on investment you can get is with email marketing. The problem with email marketing is it's not in your favor for things like events, because most people just check their emails a couple of times a day. If you send them a 1 hour reminder, the chances of them actually seeing it 1 hour before, especially if they're, you know, busy doing other things, or they're not, like, you know, constantly in the office, it's not that likely. So like 1 in 3 emails on average get opened at all. So the odds of like the email getting opened within that small hour window isn't very high. But use email anyway, because some people are bang on it. Like I'm bang on it on email like pretty much all day. I just like switch it off when I'm doing project stuff, but the rest of the time I tend to see stuff. And obviously you'll be using that for your promotions and your upsells and your follow-ups. So make sure you have got an email marketing strategy. But in terms of like getting the live attendance, don't let that be your only thing that you're relying on, because it's not going to be powerful enough. So the next option then you've got to do, like, to use instead of using email, is SMS. So text messaging. So a lot more people are actually doing that these days. It's really great because, you know, people get a text, they see it, they've got the phone in their hand like 80% of the day. The only thing is it can get a little bit expensive. And also some people don't like to actually give their phone numbers when they're signing up to things. It's bigger in the US than the UK. Like, for example, I know in England, not so many people are doing it compared to the US where it's massive. But yeah, if that's an option you've got, then do it because it's a great way. But just obviously, if you've got thousands of people in your event and you're paying per text message and you have to send multiple messages, it's going to get expensive. So I'm just going to quickly double check for any questions. Karen's here. Karen, hey, Karen. Thank you so much for joining, my lovely. Yeah, so Facebook event, calendar, entry, email marketing, SMS, and then this is the most powerful one I'm going to share with you now. So the next one, and you guys will have heard, well, if you've seen some of my content, you've probably heard me talking about this before, but messenger bots. So that is your next option, and that is the best option for getting high live attendance. And I'll just tell you how it works briefly. So it's in Facebook Messenger. You can use it in Instagram as well, but only in Facebook can you actually send out broadcasts, which are like campaigns that go out at certain times. You can't do that in Instagram. So it has to be in Facebook Messenger. And people can opt in. They can opt in a number of ways. It can be, you know, they can opt in like a little registration thing inside Facebook Messenger, or they can opt in on your website as normal to your event. And then you just say, click here to get, you know, to be a VIP and get sent, you know, extra messages in Messenger and so on. And so using a bot is the most effective way to get high attendance, live attendance, because people open Messenger messages very, very quickly. It's got, like, compared to email, 1 in 3, 33% open rate. It's 80 to 90% open rate, which is amazing. Like, I don't have a source for that stat at the moment because I can't remember where I found it. But yeah, if you look on like ManyChat's website, you'll see it. They've got loads of information there. It's one of the best ways, and the opens are very, very quick. So you can send a 1 hour reminder, you can send a 10-minute reminder. Like, you can send a 1 hour reminder, say click here to snooze it. They'll tap on the snooze button, then 10 minutes before it's saying, hey, here's your other reminder. In 10 minutes we're meeting. And it's enough notice for them to show up. And there are so many other things you can do with the bot as well. You know, you can follow up afterwards, you can invite them on calls, you can ask them for feedback. Like on one of the what we do when we do this for our clients is we send out a little survey after the event saying, how many tasks did you complete, or did you manage to attend the masterclass live, you know? And then we say, how did you find it, you know? And we ask little questions, and then you can use that in your you know, as testimonials later as well. You can, for your next event, to say, look, this is what people said about my event last time. There's loads of things you can do. You can invite them onto calls, book a call with you, ask them if they're joining a program, if they're on the fence, remind them about payment plans. You can remind them about your fast action bonuses, ending, all of that kind of stuff. So it's a really, really, really powerful tool. Super cheap as well. It's like $15 a month. And you can do a lot on the free version, but for a launch, you would want the paid version because you do they're called smart delays, where you like wait a certain period of time and you follow up with them if they haven't taken an action, all that kind of stuff. So like things like getting them to join the Facebook group. If you can see they haven't joined the Facebook group, you'll send them another message and say, make sure you join the group before the challenge, you know. So let me know if that all makes sense. I know I've kind of like whizzed through that. But yeah, so Messenger bot, that is definitely 100% your best option, because the more people you get live, the more hype, the more sales you're going to get, the more engagement, the more sales. They literally go hand in hand. So yeah, I'd love to know if that's helped you guys. If you've got anything you want to add, what are your like secrets? If you've done lots of launches, if you've got anything that I haven't mentioned, I would love to hear them. And I just want to give you guys the opportunity, if you are loving the sound of having a bot, you know, for either challenge, masterclass, then I actually do have a couple of things that might interest you. So I've actually, these bots that I've built for these clients, you know, who I talked about at the beginning, 6-7 figure clients, coaches, I've actually turned these into templates. So if you're the kind of person that wants to do something but you don't have a huge budget, you can actually just buy my template, and it's got videos for every single step of the way. So you can just like import it, add your content. They've got content plans, and there's one specific for challenges and there's one specific for masterclasses. But also I do offer it as a done for you service as well. So for you ladies in this group, I have created a coupon code. It's WHW20, Women Helping Women 20. And if you do actually want to take any of them templates or even a done for you service, you can get 20% off. I will share the link below and you can have a look. It's just for the launch ones, not because there is a lead magnet one in there as well. It's not going to work on the lead magnet one. This is just for the launch ones right now. Yeah, because it will literally change your life. Like, to build one of these things yourself, you could lose a year of your life. Like, it's something I've built and I've been working on. We've been building on and improving literally over the last 3 years or so. And the template has got the exact same one that we do for our clients. Obviously, just like with our clients, we make changes to make it like more personal for them and so on. So let me know and I will I'll add the link anyway so that you guys can check that out, check out the different options. And yeah, if you have any questions for me at all, just leave them below, even if you're watching on replay. I'd love to hear from you guys. And I want to thank you very much for joining me today. And I hope you have a wonderful Thursday. It's Thursday if you are in the States. All right, I'll speak to you guys soon. Take care.